or not. I mean, this is the
Dhirendra Kumar, what are you making of this entire report? Because I was going through the bylaws of the NSDL and evaluating the circumstances under which accounts can be frozen. So bylaw 9.3.4 says the depository shall on its own freeze the participant's account, and they've given a whole bunch of conditions. One of which is if the central or state government orders it, the SEBI orders it, or some court or tribunal orders it. And then it goes on to say on the basis of orders passed by the Disciplinary Action Committee as set out in Chapter 11 of the bylaws. And then when you look at what those bylaws are and what can the Disciplinary Action Committee do under Chapter 11, it says suspension of a participant, expulsion of a participant, declaring a security as ineligible, freezing the account of the participant, which is what is supposed to have happened in this instance. How do you think we should go about unraveling whether or not this has happened and what should happen from here?
No, one is that, we should get this is actually a failure of the market regulatory infrastructure. There should be an instant verifiability because all these information should be, we have actually become far more transparent. If I have, ever since this thing happened, I looked at all the information that we get as part of, public disclosure of the portfolios. So, you have more than 1% holding. So some of these companies, which I read in the newspaper, that they're only investors in Adani companies. They are not. They have a bunch of other companies in which they have invested. Large scale of investment. I was looking at, the Indian funds, their exposure to these companies. It is not much. The actively managed fund, they don't invest. They don't have sizable exposure here. But I think it's, entirely our ability to look at, because in a market, a bunch of stock which has gone up by 10 times, 8 times, 6 times in the last 1 year. Of course, the market has been going up dramatically, but this has been more than dramatic. And over and above this, such kind of stocks going up in a hurry, they are looking for an excuse to fall. And there is a general distrust in the market when you have a news which comes out, which doesn't smell good. People will run for cover if they have made good money in recent past. So good time for speculation, and I don't think there is anything unusual. Many high quality stocks, they go down on the whiff of a rumor, or we have seen in recent past itself. But this is lack of more of a regulatory infrastructure failure.
You're right, because you can't have a situation where so much investor wealth and valuation of the Adani Group stocks gets hit without knowing whether the charge itself is to have these funds been frozen. Yeah. Was there wrongdoing? What was that wrongdoing? It needs to be established. It cannot be done in the manner in which it has. The jury is out at this moment. I don't want to condemn or pronounce any guilt because we don't know the facts. The least that's expected from the NSDL, the SEBI, possibly even the finance ministry, if the NSDL doesn't do it itself, is for a complete disclosure on what actions have been taken, why is it had been taken. That will also determine what happens in the market.